You know, it always helps if I remember to turn the microphone on. That's usually the first step. Usually. Sometimes I get extra steps, like push button and select option and click screen until button work. It's not always so simple now, is it? But you're not here to catch me monologuing about lists and things. All right. Man, those wolves are very persistent. I'll give them that. But we're back into space engineers. And I need to pull up the actual game if I'm going to let anybody watch. So, put that down here. We want space engineers. I want to keep an eye on the stream to make sure I can actually get space engineers to show up. Goodness me. Like, that's usually a good first option. All right, look, we got it showing up. That's great. All right, cool. And we got the audio working, so you guys can hear what I have to say. Well, as it starts raining on this new day in Space Engineers, I want to show you some changes that I've made because I couldn't stop playing. Now, admittedly, most of these changes are things we've made today, but I didn't want to just sit here and do nothing. So, alright, turn the drills off so we can actually... It's a wolf! Oh, also I died while I was making changes because I hit the ground a little too fast. Man, as I said, these wolves are persistent. If there was a more humane way to deal with them, I would. Okay, so first big change. We expanded the drills in the pit. And I tried to add a second piston arm because the first arm was not strong enough to lift all these drills. And I was having trouble getting connected to the grid, so I had to use mag plates. But it works. It works. Alright. Other new thing. I made a ship. It's not the greatest. It's not the best by any means of the imagination. However, we're going to need it in the project to come. Now, if I search component, and I queue, honestly, another 1,000 probably do. But we're already due to dig another hole. Alright. Now, I'm looking. Yes. And it says that I must place these this way. Oh no. I've made a mistake! No, don't! No, 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 no. Do not weld. Do not weld. You've made a mistake. Mistakes have been made. Huh. I should fix that at some point. I don't think there's supposed to be a hole right there. But until then, we're just gonna jump over it. Oh, I upgraded my welder and my drill. Okay, so now I'm fixing the lights. No, no, nope, nope. There we go. Okay, good, 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 good. there. Nice. And there. And there. We're getting lights everywhere. Because I'm tired of it being so dark around here. Oh, you know what? While I'm at it, you need some lights too. If I'm going to take you out and it's foggy, you're going to need to be able to see. You know what? I might even give you some backup lights. Have them go beep, beep, beep. Okay, so we built the ship, and its only real goal is to be able to hold things. I know that probably doesn't sound anywhere near as impressive as it is, but it's a start. Yes, the lights, all the lights. The lights on my rover too. Oh, it's so good. Okay, so we go in here. We sit at our desk. We eat a piece of cooked meat. We search for interior. All the interior lights. Oh, you know what? Maybe I should put light in the search bar. So, the lights I just added that are all on our grid get saved to base lights, get really dark, and then really bright. So now, even our landing pad is just a little bit brighter, as you can see. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to turn on the drills, and oh, I made a new camera, and it is connected, or it shows up right above. Haha! Gravel! It shows up right above a connector that's connected to a sorter that pipes all the gravel out of the base. So far, we've piped over 50,000 kilograms of gravel. Okay, those drills are still a little loud. So we're going to stay over here on the gravel pan. Because in relation to the base, you can see it's pretty much right there at the end with the little green arrow. We made a building pad, as you can see. So that way, when I start working on our next building project, I've got somewhere to put it. It's so nice. The base batteries are good. Our little lifter has fully charged batteries. We have a second large cargo container and a second refinery. We've got the best refineries. Well, maybe not the best. They don't have upgrades, but they're the best in terms of size and what they can do and how fast they can work until you add upgrades, which make them even better. It's so good. Okay, so now we can use the drill camera now that the drill sounds are just about out of reach. If I remember right, we've made it to about 50% on these drills. I still haven't quite figured out a good way to bring them back and forward, but we will get there. Because as you can see, there's another roughly half of this square that I built that I haven't been able to do anything with yet. But I've got a plan for that. I do. Honestly, it might just be more drills and piston arms, but it's still more stuff. And more stuff is good. It gives me roughly an opportunity to rebuild all this stuff. And get it connected to the grids the way they're supposed to be instead of using mag plates. Alright, now as we get closer to our our drill depth, we should see the bottom bar here, you see these two bars? The bottom bar should start getting larger. Because right now, as you can see, it's mostly empty. But by the time we're done, it will not be empty. Yep, here we are. We're starting to pick up some more stone. And right now this is about 30-ish meters. Because we've got 6 pistons here on each end of the arm. So our max depth here is going to be 60 meters. Oh yeah, look at that go. Alright, now as we fill up, the drills are going to start having their inventories filled as well. And I'm sure... Yep. Dunk, dunk. Our gravel pile continues to grow. I'm so satisfied with this because I used to have to hand pick the gravel manually out of the containers, and it was a real pain in the butt. And now I don't have to do that. Now I just let the gravel fall. So good. Dunk, dunk. And if we search for our large cargo containers, large cargo container 2, completely full of stone. Large cargo container 1, mostly full of stone. But as you can see, we're going to have quite a while here where we're just going to be processing a lot of rocks. And our drills are starting to become empty again, which means that the pistons are going to be able to pull them out. Yeah, I'm really happy with this. Now, in total, we've got about 14, well, the batteries fill up almost immediately, so it flashes from 14 hours to like never, where there's almost no drain on the base completely. With, I mean, the amount of turbines we've got and the solar panels, and the sun is rising. Oh, look at that, the sun is rising. So good. So happy. And you can just see it. You don't even need the camera. You can just go dook, dook, dook. Oh, that's so good. So far, one of my favorite changes about the base. And eventually, at some point, I'm going to figure out how to optimize these solar panels as well. Because I haven't done that before. I don't have any practice with doing that, so I might have to watch a few things to figure out how it's done. But yeah. We're doing really good. Alright, I'm going to sit here until our drills are off. And they're mostly off, or they're mostly back up, is what I should say. We're going to make sure we sit here and make sure they get all the way up. Oh, they're almost there. 7, 6. And I made it move this slow on purpose so that way we could maximize the amount of stone that rocks that we pull at the greater depths. So I'm like, I know, it's not fast, it's not glamorous, it's not, I don't know, pretty, but it's definitely something. And 0. Yep. But I wanted to make the most of our drills. And if you look down there, it's quite a ways down. You don't want to fall down there. A fall from here will probably kill you. Yep, and our refineries are hard at work. The sun is shining, the tank is clean. Alright, so while the refineries are busy, from the survival kit to the basic refinery to all of our lovely stuff. Oh, look at that, our food processor already has more algae in it. Everything's going pretty good. Speaking of our algae, food processor has items queued and it's got some built. But we're doing really good. Doing really, really good. And our assembler is queuing a bunch of extra parts. Make sure we work on getting all of our steel plates back up, because, I mean, building out the base and extending things and adding more pistons and drills, it takes a load on our resources. It definitely does. Alright, so, our next project. We're building a rover. A rover. Alright, so, like every build in Space Engineers ever, we're going to start with a landing gear. Search for some plates. As you can see, we don't have a lot. Or at least, we've had more. So I'm going to take 23. I'm going to take some interior plates. And that should be all we need to place the majority of our items. Now, the way I'm going to do this is we're going to start it this way. And we're going to roll, I want to say, oh, Bob, no. I forgot, we haven't quite made this building repair the same as the others completely. So we want, let's see. You're on fly mode, you will grind. Oh, these wolves, I swear. Having to reload there is a questionable choice. Alright, now I do have a survival kit over here that I can use. That's right, we never took off the original survival kit. In fact, you know what? I might have an extra survival kit built out there too there. Don't quite know yet. I'm not sure. I mean, it wouldn't be a bad idea from what I can tell. So, the only thing we might not have readily available is a bunch of metal components, because those take silver. We don't have a ton of silver on us. Nice. And just like that, extra survival kit. Now, how many of those? Oh no, we actually made all 7. We definitely won't be able to pull 20, I'm sure. But we're gonna need the medical components for survival kits in this rover. Okay, so before I was interrupted by wolves, yeah, no. There should be. Ah, okay. Yeah, because there's the ignore color that we set first. It's going to be 0, 0, 45. And just like the other build and repairs, I'm gonna scroll up here. Yep, okay, so that is not the ignore color. Well, you know what? It'll be okay. Because while we get this all placed anyways, I'm not really sure I want anything done with it as is. So, excuse me. You should, oh, yeah, maybe the help others box is supposed to be checked. No, like I have with all my other build and repairs. Yep, that's what we needed. It wasn't immediately ground down this time, so. Alright. What? Alright, mister. You know what? No, because the moment I get everything placed and turn them back on, he will start. Use grind color. Janitor grinds enemy blocks. Janitor grinds not own blocks. Janitor grinds neutral blocks. Grind to disable only. No, you're still on. Yeah, all of these are on. So then what is with you, my friend? I don't know. But you know what? This time I'm confident that I have modified all my settings to let me build this. Okay. Ah, My dampeners are off. Now that my dampeners are on, 2, 3, 4, we're gonna go 5. Just to be safe, because I like to have some clearance, and with what we're going to build, we're gonna need it. Wonk. That much I did do. Yeah, I'm really good at doing this. This will happen a lot. Now, you might be asking, what are you going to do with this giant square? Well, this is the back half. This will be where we have the actual drill. And if I remember right, the build that I was starting to work on in creative mode, where I was putting it all together to test, had 2 separate cabins. Well, we're already out of plates. Let's search for plate, of which we have quite a few, and the number will keep increasing. So, got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm probably going to bring it out by like 15. I'm pretty sure I just brought it out by like 20 or something. Like, yeah, we'll bring it out by like 15. Proceeds to stop counting. Okay, so now pick up all of these. Looks good. We're gonna go up here. Now I know that this is much wider than it will probably ever need to be, but I'm just like, the wider it is, the less, the more surface area we have, which means we've got more room to place things, we've got more room to store things, we've got more room for, well, just about everything. Also, whoa, that messed with my brain for just a second. Like, everything turned upside down. You know what? We might actually want these wheels to be a little bit closer to the landing gear. In terms of height, the overall height should be okay about here. And for this, we're going to use the 5x5 wheels. So if I go to where the wheels, well, at least where they used to be, I'm going to type in wheels. We want the 5x5 wheels. But not the short wheels. We want right wheels, and we want left wheels. Alright, so this is going to be the left side. Unable to attach wheel. Maybe we do need this one block higher. Alright. Well, won't be anything that I haven't tested before. Alright, let's see. Do we get... This is the left side once again. Yes, we get wheels. 2... And I think we're gonna want... Honestly, you know what? 6 wheels on each side feels really good. Because we've got some hills to navigate around here too. So it's not necessarily, you know, just a drive around thing. No, we have to do some exploring and some surviving. So we have 3 on the front and roughly middle. And then we want 7 is still the left. Okay. And they're roughly spaced one right after the other. That's probably not the greatest. We probably want at least 1 block of spacing. So that's on me. Alright. Try this. Yep. With at least 1 block of spacing in between them. Alright, so that's 4. So we're gonna go for... Honestly, 5 on each side might cover it, because if we keep getting too close to the back, we're gonna hit the drill piece. And I really don't want to get this, you know, the wheels caught up in the drilling. That would be bad. So we're gonna probably stick to 5 and call it even. Which means now we just have to mirror that on this side, but with the right suspension wheels. And 1 more. Throw 1 more on for good measure, right? Yep, cool. This is essentially going to be, well, the suspension. What a shock. Now, at least half of these puns are not intended. The ones that are typically don't get jokes, or they don't get laughs, so I have stopped trying to be a comedian in my spare time. Not that I can honestly say I made an attempt, but... Alright, so we have... the first wheel, and I couldn't place a wheel because I was in the way. So what I might do... We'll move myself back. I didn't realize I would have to expand this out to get this built. You know, you're supposed to be connected to the base. So good. The sun is shining, the tank is clean. I'm really hoping that my TV kind of fuzzing on the image in the middle is just on my TV and not on the stream as well. I'm sure it's not on the stream, but I'm just wanting to make sure I do the best I can. Nope, we want control click, we want the right suspension wheels. I almost walked myself off. That would be a funny thing. Okay, cool. 2, 3. Alright, so the wheels over here are actually evenly spaced out, so it's not going to match what we see on this side. And because I am an enjoyer of things that look the same, or at least, well, things that look congruent, or at least similar, or whichever words we want to use, I will grind these wheels off. And apparently I have the rear suspension comes with it. I have decided that I'm just going to push blocks away. Alright. Now I know we must have more steel plates. Got at least 14. If I search for plate. Yeah, we're just about done another 1,000, so I'm really happy with that. There we go. Nice stuff. No, not the drill. We're not drilling this off. We're just using the grinder. It'll be fine. Whatever would go wrong. Okay, so now that I've got this roughly where I want it, we now want the left side one more time. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that looks about as correct as I can get it. Cool. So, the bottom part, honestly, I don't mind leaving the way it is because it's roughly just going to be the suspension for the wheels. This top part, on the other hand, we're gonna have to fill in as much as possible because this is going to be the part that we walk on. And as you can see, the small armor uses 1 steel plate, whereas the big, the large grid armor uses 25 plates per block. So we're going to be able to go a lot further with the small grid than we would otherwise with the large grid. Or at least it would take us a while to get everything that we would need. And my idea is if we can get moving quicker, the better off we're going to be. Also because we're going to need things like ice and things like silver and magnesium and platinum, gold, a whole bunch of stuff we really can't get from just mining in our pit. Which means we're gonna have to go out there. We're gonna have to go out there into the world and go get it. In order to get it, and bring it back to have it refined, because the small grid is limited. Sure, you can get moving quicker and that's good. But in terms of your refining options, you really only get the survival kit. There's um, no basic refinery use on the small grid. The only way you could do that is if you add large grid blocks to the small grid. And in theory, we're going to be doing that here today with the use of my little lifter over there and an advanced rotor to at least get drills. Because if we're going to make a large rover, I would just rather make it piece by piece with large blocks. Alright, so we've placed all of these. We can't quite place anymore right now, that's okay. And I'm noticing that the blocks have to be at least, no connected inventory. That's close enough. There we go. We're going to hide empty. Wow. Search for more plates. The search for plates continues. And here we go. But my thinking out loud is, I want this to be a rover that we go and we drill and we mine and we get a bunch of resources and we bring it back home. And when we get home will be when we do most of the refining and processing of all of the ores. But the stuff like the gravel can get dumped. Stuff like the stone we get can be refined by the survival kits. So we won't have to worry about just carrying around a bunch of gravel. And the stone that we get will be put to good use. So, that's the hope. That's the goal. Now, we could probably, if we really, really wanted to, add a few select large blocks onto the grid. But I'm not convinced that it's something we need to do.
Energy low.
Not low energy. Drat. Now there is at least one wolf directly below this grid. And because I'm building... Yeah, that's right. Come on, you can path. There you go. Alright. The only other update I have regarding changes is that we're going to have a new weapon to defend ourselves with relatively soon. It won't be super crazy, it won't be ridiculous. Ridiculous. But it will be an upgrade to our basic pistol here. There we go. Energy issue fixed. The gravel is dispensing, the refineries are refining. Everything is working as expected, and as well as I could honestly hope for. But yeah, ice we're definitely going to need to get a hold of. Because if we run out of hydrogen, we won't be able to use our jetpack anymore. And I have not gotten more ice yet. So, gonna work on that. There we go. This front half is all put together. Yep. Blocks to walk on. Yep. Okay, so this back half we're going to fill in as well. At least as much as we can. Honestly, you know what? You know what? I'm being bold. We might actually use this back half that isn't filled in as much to be where the drill pops down. I'm being creative here, so watch out. Watch out, he's being creative! We haven't even gotten to placing the interior plates. Yeah, look at that. That's roughly 2,000 steel plate. Okay, so we might flare out this lower or this rear portion because I really want this to be big enough where we can walk around and we can kind of navigate. I don't necessarily want it to be just crammed in everywhere and just be like, oh, well, you must be back here, man. Like, no. No, no, no. No, not the one steel plate. Alright, so this rear portion, I'm okay with it being roughly 3 wide, so that way it doesn't get too close to the wheels. We come over here, we extend this out by 3 on the center wheel. There we go. As we know that we're roughly going to be rear heavy from the drill, which means we want most of our storage to be on the first half. No, 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 no. Alright, so this looks good. Then we're going to come over here and do that as well. Looking really good here. We're nearly to the back half. Don't you do it. Don't you use those plates. I'm really liking that. Just a little bit of clang, but not enough to blow everything up. Huh. You knew what? I was about to say that's not enough to walk on either. Good, that's even. There we go. Alright, so here we are. This is going to be where the drills go down into the dirt. This is going to be the piloting and storage portion. Okay. I'm honestly afraid to even turn you on. So what we might do is we might just turn this guy off until I figure out why he's being such a butt. We don't use the ignore color. We use the grind color. All of this is off. We set to nearest first. You don't have any priority list. The only thing I'm telling you is that you don't collect gravel. So what's with you, Bob? Why are you being weird? Alright, as I yeet myself across my rover, piloting portion is going to require, and I'm going to go stray away from our cockpits here. I'm going to go for the rover cockpit and have it be very, very interestingly placed. We'll put it that way. Put that here. Or maybe even off to one of the sides and have it be like an offset cockpit, which I'm not opposed to. We have it like there. Okay. And then our drilling cockpit can go roughly about here. Rather impressive, original Bob. Alright. We're also going to need the batteries. I'm thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We put the batteries about here. Why are you being so weird, batteries? No, I don't want you on top. If I wanted you on top of or embedded in something, that's where I would put you. Okay, so yeah, I'm thinking, what, 4 batteries? Yeah, 4 batteries should be good. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then because I'm paranoid and, you know, explodey things explode, we're going to have 3 layers of wall between the cockpit and the batteries. A little bit of paranoia and protection goes a long way to make sure we don't end up at the respawn screen. We're also going to work on actually putting the cockpit together. Because I'm thinking the actual room itself can go roughly to about here. And that way we can have a small grid door. So if I go into G and I search for door, I can actually put one right there. You can walk through it and it'll be great. A wonderful thing. Which means honestly that this back wall needs to be a little bit higher to account for the door. Okay, fine. Maybe only 2 blocks thick. Because all I can think of is, if we're gonna end up exploding, we might as well explode in a big way. So, 7... Yeah, yeah, we'll have it right about here. So we can walk around both sides. And then we could have something like a window here. Yeah, I'm actually really liking that. Like, why would it move? Bob said, sure, I'll help you build your dream. Make sure we eat. Got the 4 batteries. So now we need to work on storage. And like I said, the storage needs to be up back here. And we're going to use the medium cargo container. Medium cargo container. And roughly, we're going to try and keep this as center mass as it can get. And I think that 6 medium cargo containers should cut it. And honestly, if we need more, we can add more as we get ourselves put together. Alright, I was wondering why that felt off, and I was like, oh, this was off by the outset. Yep, and we can still, walk around, go do this. This can actually be a second room, or we could even move the Rover seat. And bring this all the way up. I don't mind doing that. I like that idea. More plates. Pretty sure we just ran through all our steel plates too. If I put plate into the search bar. No, we've still got a lot. And it's still going. Alright. Well, if you're gonna let me keep going, I'm gonna keep going. Okay, I don't want those there. I really don't. I mean, they won't even necessarily be an issue, I just don't want the extra there. Looks great. 10 out of 10. Now this other side, didn't quite realize this, but I was about to say, in the way we've put this, it's now a little bit off. Now my only concern, because I've driven rovers in this game before, is that as this thing gets full, the suspension is going to kind of sync up and it's going to roll on the rear of this rover. It won't be perfect. But it's going to be good. And I will accept good if it brings us desired results. Plus, we're engineering. There's nothing perfect about this. By default. Like, I haven't found anything built by humans to be perfect. So, alright. I need this here. No silly human. There we go. Roughly to carry. Honestly, what we could do is we could just leave this as an open space. Like, we could even put a second door here. Have it be fully accessible from the cockpit and make this come all the way across. Energy low. Well, let's fix that. Wow, yeah. We refilled our bottle from over here. Didn't even need to go all the way. Very nice. Alright, cat is still sleeping. Oh yeah, no, I liked that a lot. That felt really good right there. At the time this is all said and built, we might not actually be able to walk this entire surface, I just realized. Unless we bring out the front of the rover by a good 2 to 3 blocks and start the paneling out here. Now, admittedly, this is a lot of design work that's going into aesthetics and not necessarily function. I think I'm going to grind all this off until I know that this works 100% for sure and we don't have to do anything crazy. Because I would rather make sure the rover works as intended and then greeble rather than do all this aesthetic work and be like, oh, it doesn't work. So, what do we need to turn this into a drilling rig? We need drills. Probably, let me check my, yep, build planner. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'll put all 8 in there and it'll be fine. So we're going to control middle click and shift middle click. Because obviously it can't build all of this stuff. But what we can do is we can go to, don't do that to me. We can go to production and we can make sure that we build all the things we need to build. All our displays, all our components, all our computers, all our displays, all the stuff. The motors and the computers and the construction components. Yeah, you're gonna tell me we can't build it, and then you're gonna build it anyways, and it's gonna be just fine. And honestly, even if we can't build it all right away, we can build this as slow as we need to. If we go into inventory and I search for iron, well, we've still got 11k iron left. You know what? I don't mind not having the metal grids on me, or the power cells, because this is going to not be done long before. Yeah, because we would need the suspensions and the wheels over here to be done, and I'm not confident that the build and repair right here wouldn't grind this all to pieces. You know what we could do? We could work on grabbing me some steel plates. Search for plate. Grab an additional 200. And work on putting the suspension up one block higher. That way we can actually walk under this thing. And be very careful to not cut off the landing gear, because that would be bad. There we go. So if you cut off the landing gear, it's all on wheels that haven't been touched. There's no configuration done, like a whole lot of nothing. So, all right, we've got all this. We want roughly, we're gonna have to build some of this inwards. Maybe this back layer. Grind off this piece. So, we don't want to damage the suspension. So roughly this little rectangle here should be about where we want all of this to go. I'm fine with that. Okay, so in order to get that, what we need is we need to get these done, which means we need some interior plates. Alright, if I search for interior plate, we could honestly use roughly about 1,000 more. Well, that's what happens if you try to get to the assembler. I don't necessarily need the assembler, much as I just needed to put some of those back. Pull some more of those out. Because now, I should be able to go around and weld up all of these medium cargo containers. Well, roughly, we're almost done. We're missing 2. Got a couple more interior plates. Grab the 24, grab the 100. As we keep working on more, which is really nice. Go on, there we go. Alright. Nice. So here is what we have. And I'm going to have to reacquaint myself. Because if I remember properly, I need to use the small conveyors to go up here. Ah, I see why they had this going along the side. Because now what's going to happen, right? When we build the drill arm, is that the drill arm's going to carry sideways and not backwards, forwards. Which honestly, I'm not too opposed about because this thing is longer, or it's wider than it is long, as far as I can tell. So, what's going to happen is I'm going to weld up these small conveyors. I'm gonna grab one. Oh, no, I have to clear the build planner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're gonna throw 8 of these into production. There we go, Shift Q. Or Shift middle mouse. Shift Q. I don't even know if that's a shortcut or a keybind for anything. All I know is that I said it. I'm gonna get these done first. I'll put some extra stuff into the door. There's not much else to be doing other than adding the individual interior plate. I'm really liking this. The only thing it's necessarily missing per se is probably a ladder or a way to get up there so that way we don't have to use the jetpack. That's probably the one weak point here, which honestly we could put on this back end. Now, if I search in the G menu for ladder, yeah, I can actually put that up there. That's really nice. Press F to get on ladder, and it'll carry us right on up. Nice. Oh yeah, I really like that. The only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come back here and we're going to add a little bit more armor plating to the back of the ladder. There we go. That way it's connected to the main body of the rover, everything looks good. We stop when we reach the ladder, like, you know, Yeah, I'm really liking this. That feels really nice. Alright, so now we're gonna look for the assembler. Have some pieces for me, which I'm gonna go put to good use. I love how I said I need to be able to get up here without relying on the jetpack. Proceeds to use the jetpack. Okay, so now...
Energy low.
Energy low? Well, I can fix that. Yeah, this is turning out really well. Alright, now I'm going to turn you on, and if I hear one grinding sound, I'm turning you back off. Oh, now the wolves are here. Alright, I know he's not the only one. Where are you? Alright. I hear you. Oh, I'm gonna laugh. It really did spawn you all the way down here. Like, we're almost a good 60 meters below the crust. And this is where the game decided to spawn you. You poor creature. I think I just gave it mercy. I'm literally right next to this thing. Alright, deposit, show connected inventories, search for meat. There we go. As you can see, we've got a rough surplus of the wolf meat. They just keep showing up. And if they're gonna keep showing up, I'm gonna keep eating them. You're going to show connected inventories. Why do you keep acting like you're not mine? Alright, you are back here. Because these ones are set to weld before grind. Really? The second one is still in walk mode? Odd. You would think that all of these have the same settings because I put them all in the same group. Yeah, so 0, 0, 45 is actually the ignore color. Have you weld to functional only for now. guys are using the grind color, which I don't have painted. Now if I go look at you individually, you are using the ignore color. Alright, and now you're welding. I don't know what to think about you, Bob. I know most of this is my own error in defining your parameters, but like, grr. Sometimes grr. Because the only time you should be using the grind color is when I tell you to use the grind. That's probably why it wasn't. Or why it was grinding stuff rather than welding, because it wasn't using the grind color. It was just like, oh, you don't actually own this. I'm going to weld, or I'm going to grind you. Hi! The cat has awoken from his nap. Hello! Are you sleepy? You sleeping good? Oh my goodness, that's a big yawn you've got. You're alright. Yeah, I'm just giving you a pet. Or two. Maybe 10. It's okay. Yeah. Yeah, I love you too. Oh my goodness. Alright, the cat is demanding at least a certain level of attention in pets. Yeah, you have a good nap. Oh, you're purring. While we get parts of the rover welded up. Yeah. Are you hungry? Can I interest you in some food? As you get all kinds of fur everywhere. Yeah, mister. It looks like I'm gonna have to take the lint roller over your cat tree again, because you've just got hair bits everywhere. Yes, you do. Well, he's not too interested in food, but he's definitely interested in some love and attention. Which means after stream, which isn't all too terribly soon, we'll be giving him some love and attention. Yeah, I'm going to keep the level 1 grinder for, honestly, probably the entirety of this play. Because I really want what I start grinding down to be done very deliberately. And my genuine concern is that if I pick up the higher tier welders and I'm not paying attention, I will, well, do dumb stuff. Alright, well, we've got bits and pieces welded. So, I need to place the conveyor converter, and it takes interior plates. I had a feeling that it might, but you know. Alright, so we have this, and it needs to be placed as this indicates right here. is that's going to fit in with... Nice. All right. Are we really missing construction components? Are we... I can't possibly be. Um, really? I had not anticipated this. No, well, no, we're just about out of iron. Not. Which means we're gonna have to do another run into the pit. Do. But hey, the rover's coming along. That much we know. Yep, there it is. Big old rover. I'm gonna name you Big Wheels in honor of your predecessor. Yep, there he goes. There he goes. He's getting some food. You know, you're all right. It's your lunch food. And as you can see, we've got our gravel dump, our gravel can. Which I figured it might be, more enjoyable than just watching this and also being deafened at the same time. Good news is that sound goes away once the drills hit about 30%, or the pistons hit about 30%. So, like, it does get quieter slowly. Well, yeah, even here, it's already not definite. Yep, and by 25%, you can't even hear the drills. And with 2 arms, the drills are barely shaking. When I only had 1 arm, let me tell you what, that thing was shaking, and I was kind of concerned. Wasn't gonna lie. Oh yeah, we can even hear the survival kit. Got a survival kit right behind us in the drill room. Alright. Yeah, you're gonna go to the window. He loves his little window. Little perch. Yep, there he goes. He's gonna catch some sunshine. He's gonna warm up a little bit. Now we're slowly getting 50. I think we stopped, what, 60% last time? So we'll just have to keep an eye on this real quick. Oh yeah, we're starting to pick up some mass. Okay, here we go. Now that was actually closer to 70%. Well, that is 70% of 60 meters. As you can tell, we're picking up materials pretty quick here. Which is nice because this will serve our purposes for quite a bit. Especially because we started this stream with a drill run. Which means we've gone the better part of an hour and a half without having to run a drill run again. If we go into inventory and we search for large cargo container, yep, we're already full on stone again, just about. We check the gravel can. We are dumping all the gravel. Every last block. Now don't ask me where we're getting the free tape. As you can see, the gravel's being held together by straps or tape or whatever you want to call it, and I do not know where we're getting all of that for free. But somehow we are, and I am not going to ask too many questions. We've got all the drills. Yeah, because even this survival kit has about, 1K of stone in it. Basic refinery having 5 kilograms. Got a few connectors with stone in them. Conveyor sorter taking care of all the gravel. Yep. Getting our kelp crisp and a whole bunch of cooked mammal meat. So if I actually go to the food processor, yep, making good progress. And the kelp crisp is being pulled as it gets made, which we just queued up another 1,000. So, as the kelp or as the algae farms make progress, they do good stuff. We've got our large cargo containers starting to drain a little bit. Our refineries are pulling the stone out. They're tossing the gravel so that way it's not in the way. Alright, our cacophony of drills are still running. The gravel can being as entertaining as ever. I really could just sit here and watch it just go dunk, dunk, dunk for a while. I really, really could. Alright. Get the drills turned off. Now we should be able to keep working on our rover. Okay, so now here comes the fun part as we get more of this welded up. The next piece of this requires me to place a 3x3 advanced rotor and try to fit a large rotor head into the rover. Or, yeah, basically into the small 3x3 rotor. Which might work. I've seen it work in the past. I'm really hoping it does. Because if it doesn't, well, things are going to get complicated. Thunk. What I can do is probably take the rest of... Wow. Yeah, I didn't really have all that much left, huh? And you've got 5k stone in you too, huh? You are survival kit 2. So you're both survival kit 2. I don't know how you guys managed to pull that off, but... Alright. We should have plenty of plates. What's in our production again? In the assembler? Whole lot of nothing. But I find it very hard to believe that we've burned through 7,000 steel plates. Just a personal note. Alright. Well, while Bob figures out what he wants to do, I'm gonna work on clearing the thrusters because we don't need them. 3x3 advanced rotor. We need steel plates. Who could ever be surprised by this? Yeah, LATE. And yeah, we've got that's it. That is right. 2,600 and some change. All right. Now we're gonna have to unweld the rotor part. Leave the actual rotor. Okay, so where's 0 and 360 are right here on this other side. So, essentially what we have to do is we have to get a block here and make sure it's not connected. It has to be dropped in a way where it won't be connected to the grid. Which we then need to have welded. And we need to have rotor part. Advanced rotor part 3x3. Advanced rotor part 3x3 is not available for a large ship. Okay, so then maybe we just need rotor part. Yep. Alright, so now this is the part where our lovely new ship comes in. Alright, new ship. Your time has come. Oh, your thrusters are off. Oh dear. Okay, that almost ended very poorly. Alright, well, here comes your entire mission life. We have lost the landing gear. It turns out that you only have 4 up thrusters. That's kind of a problem. Alright, well, we've got the rotor part where it needs to be. 1, 2, 3. Take the gyroscopes off. Atmos. We need to give you probably 2 or 3 more thrusters each. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That way you're able to compete with your downward thrust, because if we've got like 8 downward thrust and only 1 upward thrust, it's gonna be a problem. Alright, put those back on, then add the landing. As we just blew the landing gear pieces. That's the front. Nice. Okay, so now, yeah, you're pretty much able to hover and not get blown away by your thrust. Going to find your landing gear. Switch lock. You are unlocked right now. We need... Oh! That's bad. Yep. Yep, that's a quick load. That's a quick load if I ever did see it. Oh dear. That was tragic. Our poor little ship just went flomp. That's Now, if we have to go back and run the drills again, I don't mind. I do not mind having to make that kind of change and sacrifice for losing our lifter. Alright, how far back are we? That was tragic. Okay, so it was right before we fell on our side. That is perfect. That's great. Okay, so we need to get this guy. Nope, not quite. So we need to flip this block. Nope. Yeah, because if we exit, here's our hinge, or here's our rotor part. Now we need to find our 0, which is normally what this line is. Normally the 0 is our line. So if we drop this, yep, it just falls right back on the ground, as expected. Okay, so we need to tilt. We need to unlock. We need to pull. Drop it. Yeah, I was afraid of that. So let's do this again. You know what? If I do it this way, are we able to stay up? Believe it or not, I think we are. So as long as we don't get flailing on our side, we should be okay. Alright. So we know what we can't do. Our side-to-side thrust is not strong enough to keep us upright. But our up, down, and at least a backward thrusters are good enough. No. Unlock. I'm about to assign you a button that turns you off. You absolute goober of a ship. No, in fact, we might do that just to make sure we can turn this without blowing up the ship again. Alright, so G, toggle block on off. No explosions is really nice. Okay, so we need to, one, not crash the ship. Come on, flip. Flip. No, no, you're not doing that. Beautiful. Okay, so this is roughly what we need. Turn this on. Lock. Okay, so now we carry this over. Or actually first, we identify our 0. Alright, our 0 line is on the backward side. Okay. The way we're going to do this is we need to flip this way to meet the 0 on the rotor. Alright, so now that we have this, it is now a challenge of getting the rotor head into the rotor socket like this. Having that sit there and attempting, well, I say this, but you can see how this is going. Okay, so maybe right about there.
Fuel low.
Yeah. Well, now it's full.
Critical.
Okay, so now we need to go into this seat, hit V, hit K, go to our rotor, and we basically need to hit attach until it accepts this large rotor part as part of the rotor. Now, my thinking is that it's not doing that because I didn't place it properly. In which we might just have to place it deeper into the rotor. So that way it identifies the rotor part. Attached mass not available. Come on. Your 0 line is lined up with the 0. It just needs to be a bit straighter. We'll put it that way. And probably kind of like that. Like, sure, it might stick out through the back of the rotor head, but you know what? Okay, advanced rotor, and we want to... Oh, we got it! Oh, baby, we got it! Oh, dear Lord, have mercy on my soul. Alright, now where are we? Cool. Cool, we did it! Nice. I am so lucky that didn't just explode the ship and ruin half the rover. Oh, that is so good. Alright, now let's get this little lifter landed. You've done your mission well, little one. You were more capable than I gave you credit for, I'll be honest. I know you're struggling. You can do it. There we go. Our backward thrust is saving the day. Well, there we go. And connected. And rotors are, or thrusters are off. Batteries are on auto. We can go continue the construction on this. Because now we can place large blocks on this rotor head. Beautiful. Okay. So get here, go into the control panel. I don't believe, no, our rotor's not locked. So we need lower limit. We go 0. Or maybe even negative 180. You know what? We might just go 0 and 90. Just control 90.0. There we go. Now we run a reverse. It is not moving. Now we should be able to go here, okay, in here, look at our rotor. Your inertia tensor is shared. Alright, we unlocked and rotor locked. Current rotor rotation is out of limits. Limits will be enabled when the rotor is within range. Current rotor rotation, current angle is 118. Well, we definitely don't want that. So, well, that's one way to fix it. Control click 90.0 for the upper and the lower. Okay. Well, now my major concern is that it's not rotating a darn thing. However, this should be roughly straight enough for us to basically do all this. Alright, Bob. I'm going to tell you to not use the ignore color. Missing items to build small grid battery light armor block static grid. You should be able to pull from connected grids, can't you? Have we made a mistake somewhere? Because you look connected, but you're trying to tell me that you can't pull steel frames. And I'm not necessarily sure that I believe you.
Your health is low.
Whoa. Why? Oh, geez. Well, that one was a lot closer than I would have liked. Well, game, I regret to inform you that our dampeners are off. Alright, now hide empty. I'm going to move this stone to the basic refinery, I think. No, basic refineries. Really? Okay, game. You keep acting like this isn't plumbed and connected, when I can tell you with 100% certainty that it is. Because these are just conveyors and conveyor converters, and it's all green. But you keep acting like it's not connected. I was just able to pull steel plates from the assembler directly over here. And you're going to tell me that you don't have the blocks to build. Yeah, we're turning you off and back on, because you're being weird. Yeah, you're telling me you don't have blocks to build batteries, which the only things missing in the batteries are the power cells. And I don't have a connector on a piston. Well, honestly, I'm not even sure I want it on a piston, to be honest with you. I'm not even sure how I want to connect it yet. Because frankly, the only way we could get it to connect is if we took it, ran conveyors all the way down to a connector, and just had it connect on the ground. Which is not the worst idea. It is not my worst idea, believe it or not. We could actually pull probably 30 of these, 40 of those, and build this thing. So we could get the connector to place. Okay, so we just need a couple blocks to sink here. Or at least be wide enough that I can place it. Okay, so with that, I should be able to place the connector block right about there. Yep, and it'll get welded up with no issue. And then we just need to bring, well, honestly, if we're going to do it that way, place it on this side. That way it doesn't get messed up. There we go. And then we just have, yeah, because those shouldn't be in the way. Have it go down 7, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or even just come over this way and skip this lower conveyor altogether. Nope, not control 5. Number 5 is the conveyor or connector. Brr, 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 brr. Okay, and then we have this come down, come over, come down again. And you know what? Because I want to just make sure that we get this done and have it have multiple mount points, we're going to do it that way. We're actually going to weld this one off. Okay. We'll weld these two off completely. 7. Yep. Alright, fine. We'll have, honestly, a little bit more than what we need. But I would rather have more than what we need than not enough. Get the interior plates in there, and we should be able to get the rest. Yeah. Slim to no issues. Yep. Now we've got a mount point. Actually keep these and these, and then probably take the lower part off, if I'm being honest. And then if we needed to, we could probably drive over and have it just connect into the ground. Have it be a-okay. Now I'm also going to have this rear layer connect with some armor blocks. Because as I said, I'd rather need it or have it and not need it than need it and not have it. That goes for this portion here because we're going to be driving around with this thing, right? We're going to be doing not going to be doing anything crazy, but you know, there's going to be hills, and having extra armor here is going to be a very good thing. Okay, cool. And it's connected, and that looks good. Now, if I'm looking at this right, I think my eyes are playing tricks on me, because this ground wasn't even to begin with. Alright, so now that we have all this here, we should be able to start working with the large blocks. And the first thing we're going to want is a conveyor junction or something. Basically going to need a way to get this thing piped. And the only thing I can think of that's going to do that really, really well is a conveyor junction. Okay, so after the conveyor junction, wow, that actually takes up the vast majority of what we have here. May have to do some quick review. Okay. Yep, so we figured out how to connect the rotors and get it to take. Got it. Okay. So they did something pretty interesting here, which I think I'm going to replicate.
Inventory full. Inventory full.
Yes, yes, all the parts are going to climb to the floor. Alright, so they started with this, and then they did 1, 2. Yeah, this is the part where this starts looking funky as all get out. Now that's going to be 40 meters of reverse piston. Alright, do I have this checked to weld the functional? Control panel. Okay, we're going to want this to weld past functional. Alright, we've got the rotor lock. Okay. So we've got all of our pistons there. Oh, you know, this would be a perfect time to use the second cockpit. And have it be roughly, because that's the edge. I don't want us to be getting on or off near the edge. Roughly about here. So it may not be a full entire cabin. We're actually going to hop in this, hit K. We're going to name it Rover drilling cockpit. It does not control thrusters, it does not control wheels, it does not control gyros. We'll give it handbrake, we'll give it park. This will not be the main cockpit. And from here, we're going to take a look at our 4 pistons. We're going to put them in a block group. We're going to call it Rover or Mining Rover Reverse Pistons. Have it save as the block group. Mining Rover Reverse Pistons. Alright, we're going to delete that group. We're going to get out of the rover cockpit. Maybe we need a bit more of an official cockpit here, where this is the main cockpit. Alright, mining rover reverse pistons. Saves as a group. Perfect. Share inertia tensors. Perfect. And I'm really liking, no, not space engineers. Well, I love space engineers, but that's not what I want to have copied into the velocity. What we want in the velocity, we're going to keep working with the velocity that we have here. So our velocity for these piston groups, negative 0.0250. We're going to keep that because I've really liked how those work. I've really liked how that looks. I'm very pleased with it. Okay. So we're going to keep this velocity the same through all of our pistons. And also, this will be a good test to see if our hinge is able to reverse. It does not seem to be reversing, which leads me to believe this is very heavy for the rotor, but we're going to keep it going. So they have that. Am I reading this right? Oh, that looks like an invitation to Clang Central. And I'm going to be paranoid as heck and say that I don't want to do that way. Because the way they've got that done, they have it curve to curve. And I know well enough that you can't put pistons right next to each other like that. You will learn very quick how pistons bounce. That's a very bad idea. Now, with that being said, I'm also realizing that we're probably going to have to continue to back out the rear of this rover. Probably by another 10 if we're gonna be safe. Did I want to back it out by another 10? Because at this point, it feels like we're gonna need more wheels. which I'm not opposed to adding more wheels. Unable to place light block, because no reason. Doesn't seem to want to give me one. Oh, wow. Yeah, okay. I didn't realize that the ladder was so large. We're gonna have to dismantle the ladder anyways, as unfortunate as that is. Because we're gonna need more space for wheels. Okay. So this is the right side, which means we need right wheels. And those are left, so we need 6 to get right wheels. Alright, now the elbow comes down. And we probably want one more block here. 1, 2. To get our wheel fully mounted and 1 space off. Yep. So we'll just put 2 more blocks there. Hmm. Let's see. So we've got the 2 blocks. Alright, so now this needs to be 7 for the left side. We need to angle this so the elbow faces outwards. Okay, now the elbow is the spot that we want it in. We've got 1 block of separation. Nice. That is 4 more additional wheels. Okay, cool, cool. Alright, so we've got the extra wheels. Everything looks good. The only thing we need to do now is kind of just grind these pieces out. Because this entire back section is going to have to come back. We should be able to keep the upper portion, but yeah, this middle area is just going to have to get pulled. I'm thinking roughly, yeah. Get on over here and just slowly pull this back. This might be one of the few times where it just feels super tedious, but I'm concerned with using the grind color here. Okay, so you have 3 on this side. Got it. Flying. Well, now I'm not as concerned about using grind color. And it's going to be pretty pink. Color the block. Alright, so all that is painted pretty pink, and it should be okay. There's our build color, 0045. Perfect. Okay. So now, yeah, this area will be roughly large enough for our stuff and things. Now, if we go ahead, and I think what we're going to do is we're going to drop a save. Game paused, save as, and if we're going to do mining, rover, building. Because if I go in here, I actually go to this one. This is where I want the groups set up. Go here. This is our pistons. Well, I don't see anything exploding, so that's good news. In G, we're going to put groups as reverse. And those 1, 2, 3. So that's going to be 40 meters of reverse push or a reverse piston. Man, this thing's getting kind of large, huh? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wheels on each side. This thing's getting big. Hey now. Can't be doing this to me. In my own base of all things. Where do you think you're going? You're not leaving. Come here to my house and try to bite me? Get out of here. Listen, Silver. Listen. Listen. They come here to bite me and hurt me and do all kinds of mean things. Okay, so far so good. Oh no, they're actually still extending. Okay, cool. I'm still slightly concerned that my piston didn't, or that my hinge, my rotor didn't rotate, but we're just gonna work with it. speaking of things rotating, moving, that is a lot. I don't think I quite realized just how long 40 meters is. Because if we get 40 meters that way, mwah, we should be able to get a good, like, I'm honestly thinking 6 to 10 at least in the other direction. One, come on. Oh, it's because it's still moving. Yeah, that would do it. 2, 3, 4, 5. Might be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
Fuel low.
and that 10 is going to give us 100 meters. And we haven't even added the drills yet. So I am very, very happy about how this is looking. What do you mean there's UFOs? What are you talking about? What, you mean the planet? I'm so confused. I don't see nothing. Unknown signal green and unknown signal yellow. Yeah, so the unidentified signal, we're not going to be able to get to that for a very long time. Like, we are nowhere near space. The unknown signal that's like 3 kilometers away, we could probably fly over there. All right, Lifter, are you ready for a field trip? Turn your thrusters on, because we've undocked with that off before, and it was a real pain in the butt. "99 meters per second, huh?" Oh, I see. They put it down right behind this tree. Oh, we got a terracotta drill. Huh. Impressive. Oh yeah, we got a free ore detector. Look at that.
Inventory full.
No! Alright, connector. Take my junk. Take it all. Well, not my drill. Again, not my drill. Oh, another antenna component. Nice! We got some stuff. Alright, so now we get to go home. Got it. Dampeners mean we want to keep them on. Alright, now we don't want to pass by home. We want to go home. Where it looks like our drill on our rover is pretty much put together. Oh, we're almost there. Nice. Thrusters are off, and we can hop out without there really being a problem. Okay, so you do not need all of that in your connector. Put that in the assembler. We can put this... Well, there's got to be a cargo container. I can actually put some of this in the build and repair. I can probably take the rest, so that way it's empty. Nice. Alright. You get your components deposited. Nice. Yeah, we finally built a nice little flying ship that works. Okay, so this is going to be interesting. So now we're in a spot where we should be able to add the drills. And these are some big heckin' honkin' drills. Okay, so this doesn't quite look like it made it as far back as I would have liked. Listen, you're a drilling rig, not a slinky. Alright, we're gonna fix that real quick. So here is our extra pistons. Alright, these are mining, rover, plunge, pistons, velocity, saved, turn you all off, nice. Alright, you guys went from slinky mode to fully attentive. I like that. Okay. All right. I should be able to at least add a second drill on this side. I'm not fully confident about this, but this is why we're testing. All right, so next, no, trust me, for this you don't want slinkies because that's when things start exploding. I do not want this to explode. You got that on a rotor? No, I'm not going to be crazy enough to put my drills on a rotor. That's what they do. So now how do they get... Got it. So they just increase the velocity on their rotor to get it to turn. Okay. All right. Well, I think that I should be able to sit here. We're going to go to groups, mining. Okay, this is mining rover reverse. This is mining rover plunge. All right, you reverse, and then I'm gonna hit K and look at our drills. These are going to be called mining rover drills. Okay, we're gonna do this by group. Group, that's gonna be on, off. Okay. So first things first, we need these to come back. And I need to see just how wide this gets. Because I've got a sneaking suspicion that I should be doing this down here at the end of the rover, and that me having this little mining section here is a bit too ambitious. Alright, now the plunge pistons. Okay, we've got everything set there. That looks good. That looks good. Now, rotor. You don't have any velocity for your turn. Okay, that's why you can't really... Yeah. Alright, well, we don't quite need that. Oh, we actually do have some of our batteries powered. You know what? That would make more sense as to why this is actually moving and doing stuff. Yeah, this is gonna be... We might actually have to move the rover. Because, for reference, those 4 pistons are pulling 10 pistons all the way in. Which means we've got the ability to see these drills probably over near the towers that have our wind turbines. So, in order to prevent things from exploding, I need to go in here. We need to unlock the landing gear. We'll actually have a toggle on off. we'll have a toggle switch lock. And then secondly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hurry up, get down here, start grinding this because Bob doesn't want to grind this, and I have uses for these steel plates. Bob, I hear you clicking, which means you're waiting for more build stuff instead of helping me grind this. This is the grind color. Okay, how much time do we have to avert a disaster? Not much. Alright, we're gonna drop a save. Mining, Rover, test, drive. Alright. Are you trying to tell me that this thing is so heavy it can't drive? That can't possibly be what I'm seeing right now. No, this is us shaking on the landing gear. Because we have a component that's actually touching the ground. Alright, little landing gear. This is kind of what I was afraid of. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh dear lord, no. Okay, okay. Okay. We need... Do we have the hinge on a rotor lock? We do now. As unfortunate as that's going to be. Hit P, parking brake released. Alright. Not all of our wheels needed the ability to steer, but we'll be okay. Seems that half of you were turning the wrong way anyways. I don't even know how I managed to do that. But... Okay, this is as close to averting disaster as I can get with the parking brake. Alrighty. I really need our hinge. Okay, so our hinge currently is at current angle 80 degrees. I want you... Well, that's closer to 90. If I give you 40 velocity, nothing. About 60, nothing. What about torque? Okay, okay. Okay, I saw that. Because the torque is starting to flip the entire rover. We don't want to flip the rover. Lower limit, rotor displacement. Yeah. Mm. What if we do... Like, I'm getting a whole lot of nothing. Okay. So what I'm understanding is that this is too heavy for one rotor. What if we take off the drills? And I'm thinking, oh no. Wow, you're telling me the drills are what set it over. Okay. All right. Eek. Oh no, 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 no. That's about to hit like 180 degrees or something. I needed to lock at 90. Rotor. Rotor. .0. Where you going, rotor? What are you doing? And rotor lock. Okay, so I discovered that the drills are too heavy. So we could drive around like this, roughly. But I think, one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate. Oh, that's going to suck. All right, no, we're not going to rotate anything. We're just going to take off 4 of these pistons. And or even just maybe 2 of the pistons. We'll have to see. So that's 1, and then this is 2. Because I could live with us having... Yeah, yeah. I can live with this. Because we can play around with the settings and eventually get it down to what we need. Alright, we're going to try this. Again. Be 0, 0, 45. Okay, now let's try adding a drill again. Alright, so adding 1 drill tilts. Adding a 2nd drill tilts. Adding a 3rd drill noticeably tilts. Okay. Oh, Bob. You should be welding this. What have I done? Why aren't you welding? Use ignore color. Okay, when checked, system will ignore blocks with the color. No, do not ignore. Okay, we've got the grind color. You know what, let's set this to be something silly. Yeah, there we go. So now it won't ignore that color. It will help me drill, or it'll help me drill. It'll help me grind this up, or weld this up. Okay. You know what else a mining rover needs? It needs an ore detector, which we have not added yet. So this will be another thing I need steel plates for. Okay, so we need steel plates. We place the ore detector. We'll place it at the front. Okay. Now, another thing we're going to need, especially if we're wanting to go after ice, is going to be an O2H2 generator. This does not look impressive, is not meant to be impressive. I'm surprised that this is as small as it is. I was expecting something a lot larger for an O2H2 generator. Now I just realized, would it be possible for me to put this over here and stack like more than one of them? In theory, that's one. This would be two, and it would slightly overhang on. Okay, so we need large steel tubes. Bob, are you going to tell me you don't have any large steel tubes right now? Like right now? We don't have any tubes. Ah, darn, we do not have any large steel tubes. Alright, well, go to assembler, and we queue up, I want to say 500. Why not? I'm going to search iron. We have 2K, 6K. Yeah, we got roughly 12K iron. Not much left over, but it should work. Okay. So now I need to get these two containers connected to the main connected to the main line here, which means I need interior plates. Interior plates. We're gonna need one of those. We gotta stay full. Alright. Yeah, because this is going to let us get more ice for our jetpacks, which means we can fly. And continuing to be able to fly is a very good thing. Okay, so now we have storage to store the stone. We've got connector. We need survival kits, of which I think we can honestly get 2 or 3. Survival kit, why are you being weird? Don't be weird. Okay. So we can get roughly 3. Ooh. Oh. Well, we might be able to stick. I mean, we could stick them up top here, because these shouldn't impact the drill if I place them here on top of the cargo containers in any way, shape, or form. So if I get, let's see, yeah, because they actually fit right on top of the cargo containers. If I can stick 3, does that plumb well? No, it does not. Well, maybe. Yeah. So I can get that one, this one, and then one for me to use as myself. So probably like right here. Nice. And then these two will just have to get connected up using the conveyors, which are just beautiful and they're great. And I love using these things. 1, 2. I'm unable to place small conveyor because I was too close to it. Okay. It's like I will accept me being silly and not being able to build efficiently. I just won't be thrilled if I run out of stuff to build with. Oh no. Oh no 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 no. Oh no 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 no. Okay, so we are out of power cells. We need 60 power cells. Yeah. Okay, production. And we're gonna queue up roughly 100 power cells, and it'll be fine. I don't know how much we're gonna be able to get through. I would like to think that we'll be able to get through all of them, but I'm not sure. And then we need a place for this thing to park reliably. Honestly, right here is as good of a place as any. You know what? We're gonna pick right here. We can just have it. Go this way. You're here. Bob, where are you? Okay. All right, Drill. You ready to show off what makes you special and improved? Okay, so we need to place one connector right here. Then we need to place a tube. And then a number 6 tube. Fold. We need another straight. And then we need number 6 tube. Bring out the drill again because we're starting to drill, or we're starting to tube into the ground and we don't want that. Eh. Okay, cool. So now, get another straightaway tube, second straightaway tube. Let's see. One more. A second one means we drill down a good one more. We fall through a hole. Clear that voxel. Alright. We get number 6 tube. Flip it this way. Come on. There we are. Bring out the drill again. Alright, so now okay. Then we go straight. And then we flip up. Or is it one more? That's one more. Okay, cool. So then what we'll do is we'll drill out this one. We'll flip up here. 6. Flip up. Go straight. One more straight. Fine, I'll grind it out.
Inventory full.
I know. Alright, and then we need conveyor converter. Or actually conveyor junction. Or heck, you know what? We could actually put a small cargo container here. Small cargo. And then a straightaway tube. You're telling me I'm missing small steel tubes? I know I've got a ridiculous amount of some. Small. We did not use all of these. There's no way. I literally queued 400 of these. You're gonna tell me we used them all. Malarkey. Alright, so that replumbs this. This will actually get a lot of these done, it looks like. So we had a bunch of motors, extra construction components. Are you telling me that all we were missing for this entire line was small steel tubes? Rather impressive, me. Rather impressive. Okay, so now the next problem. Plate. Because if you go and dig a hole, now you have to fill the hole. Especially a hole like this.
Inventory full.
Alright, well, that looks like it's going to be as good as it's going to get. Yay, we did it. Okay, quick, we need to save the batteries. These batteries are not going to last long.
Below.
So we need to disengage the parking brake. Re-engage the parking brake. Go to the G menu. Clear the landing gear. Have this set to switch lock. There we go. Have this set. Oh dear. Okay, so we need to pull forward. That's what I'm seeing. All right. Oh, this is just cursed in half. Okay.
Fuel
All right.
low.
Yeah. Fuel low, blah, blah. Okay. I need more steel plates. Plate. Don't you do that. Don't tell me there's no connected inventories, you liar. Plate. I'm gonna pull from our couple thousand steel plates here to make sure that we essentially have something to drive on while we fix this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, don't give me that. Okay. Alright, that looks good. I'm actually liking this. This is gonna work. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. See that wheel dipping off the edge? I won't be dipping off the edge anymore. Oops. Come here. Okie dokie. Hello, wheel. Alright. I'm very happy about that. We are going to deposit components, eat a wolf turkey club, I don't know. Now we can actually back up without worrying about falling off this. I love it. So by default, this platform weighs, oh my gosh, that's tragic. Yay, we did it! Okay, we might actually want more batteries on this thing. Okay, G, we're gonna look at putting more batteries on this thing. Because 4 batteries, I'm starting to wonder if 4 batteries is even gonna be enough.
We might have to double this thing and put 8 batteries on the panel list.
Which means I need to get some steel plates. I keep putting away my steel plates. Like, what are we building out of? Well, have we tried this? Okay, so I like the way that this looked stacked. So we're gonna stack them back up. We're gonna flip them back up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I was worried about that. There's no way we have enough for this. You need power cells. Well, don't worry. We're putting four batteries in, and it's only making the power cells.
Well, you know what? Honestly, if we had everything, you need to rethink them up and gadgets and gadgets. I love it.
I appreciate it. That's great. Yep. Now we're just working on getting the rest of these power cells. That's one more of them dare batteries. There we go. Okay, so now what we do is we unlock, pull away, put the parking brake on, hit K, and we do batteries, block group, mining, rover, batteries, save as a group, turn off, hit G, go to groups. We want recharge on, and then we want enable auto. Okay, so now we pull forward, 1. And now we turn recharge on. Nice. Which means now the miner's batteries are focused on charging and doing literally nothing else. Meanwhile, while we're connected to the base, I'm going to see if I can finagle the rotor. So we're going to drop another save. Alright. I go to K, and I search for rotor. We are going to try to reverse the rotor, and nothing happens because it's on rotor lock. The moment it comes off of rotor lock, we are overcome by the weight of the drills. That's very unfortunate, because that means we're going to need to take more. We're just going to have to take more off. Well, let's see. 56, 100, 100, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Yeah. It's like I don't want to have to do that. I'm starting to get very concerned that these drills are just way too big. I'm sorry, that's floating. Breaking my immersion here. Alright, so now if I go to replace the drills, I need to make them 0, 0, 45.0. The classic gray. Alright, we're already liking. You know what? If what I have to do is only have one drill, I can live
Inventory
with that.
full.
Hey game, are we good? Are we still doing the bouncy? If I search for rotor, advanced rotor, we're at 76 degrees. You know, it just went nice. Okay. So now if we search for the rotor again, rotor, we're at 88 degrees. Reverse. Alright, so you've hit your upper limit of 90. Okay. So if you reverse now, this is when you start going back downwards. Ahem. Rotor will accelerate until the target velocity is reached. Okie dokie. I saw that. There we go. Alright, we rotor lock at 90. Okay. Alright, well, you know what? If this is what we need to do to go out and get ores like silver and gold and all that good stuff, then I'm for it. I'm for doing what needs to be done.
Inventory full. Inventory full. Inventory full. Inventory full. Inventory full. Inventory full.
Okay. So what I want to do, place those there, place these here. I still want a ladder, especially because we know that wolves are out in the wilderness, and they will try their darndest to bite my face. Do we have a ladder anywhere on this list? No. Okay, so we're going to look for ladder. It's going to give us ladder. We are going to not be able to place the ladder because we don't have interior plates. Interior plate. We have. You're going to tell me we have one interior plate? Did we really use them all? Well, we're going to have extras now. Okay. There. I am very happy with that. Alright. And then I'm going to want that there for the back half of the ladder. And then, yeah. We're going to want 2 small grid pistons. So we want this to go 1, 2. We're going to weld them up. Or at least we're going to help weld them up. You can throw the steel plates in. Nice. Okay, and then we want mag plates. So instead of camera, we want mag plate. One and two. I help weld. Like, you grab the parts, I help weld. Alright, this is beautiful. I'm really liking this. I'm really, really liking this. And once we figure out exactly where this hole ends up, we'll be able to plan a lot better. Okay, cool. So now, yeah, our batteries are at 78% charged already. Look at us go. Those batteries are almost done. Alright. Looks like Barbie's dream drill. What? No, no, this is not colored to be a dream drill. No. Oh, you were talking about the pink. Okay, got it. Don't mind me. I was just not understanding what you meant. Okay, so now that we have this colored the way we want it, and it's built in the best way that it can meaningfully function, I need to work on our other group. I need to search. Well, actually, we need to engage auto 8. Release the parking brake. Unlock. Engage the parking brake. Because we have to go back in here and identify our pistons. Our 2 new pistons. Should be here towards the bottom. Yep, piston 1, piston 2. And they're going to be in a group called parking pistons. And their sole responsibility is going to be helping park. And these are going to be parking magnets. Okay, and then we're going to go to G, go to our groups. Alright, parking magnet, or parking plates reverse, and then parking magnets switch lock. So right now, we're going to test. We've got our pistons. They go, so 7 makes them go down. And then do they not go down far enough? Wow. Wow. Okay, that's, all right. All right. So we're gonna have to have them, I guess, come down a block. How close is that? That's maybe a meter and a half, tops. Let's see, one, 2. So yeah, we're just gonna have to grind these off real quick. As unfortunate as that is, we need these to be able to hit the ground reliably and lock reliably. Okay, all right. So then, just like we had a second ago, we need this to be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay, cool. So having that extra block off should let us do what we want. Alright, magnetic plate right here and right there. Come on, let me weld all of it. Okay, cool. So now I need to go back over here, re-identify our pistons. Probably get piston 3, piston 4. It's going to be parking pistons. Parking magnets. Alright, so like we had before. Nice. Alright, that'll work. That'll do it. I just realized that other piston plate was not quite done. There we go. Alrighty, so now we get to park this guy back up. Oh, there it is. And then set these back to recharge. Okay, so I know we haven't done the test, but I need to get dinner. So I'm going to drop us a save. It's mining rover. And it's going to be the actual test drive next time. For next time. Okay, so I want to thank you all for stopping by. This has been a lovely time again with you all. This has been your host, Sneaky Snake 2. I will stream again tomorrow. And without further ado, you guys stay safe and slither on, my friends. I will see you in the next stream. And that will be all.